Sport now, and almost all sports are concerned with safety at the moment. Ice hockey and American football are being forced to take a long overdue look at concussions, but thankfully there is one sport stepping up to replace the element of reckless endangerment of human life, which is at the root of all great sport since the classic Christians versus Lions boxing tournaments of the Roman era. A new sport has been launched in the US called Taser Ball. Now, imagine in your head what Taser Ball might involve. That's right, it's that. It's that. It is exactly what you're thinking of. It's described as a variation of sports like rugby, soccer, hockey or football, but there's a big difference. Each player carries a stun gun and is allowed to electronically shock whichever opponent is carrying the ball. Come on, Andy. It was invented by three friends who wanted to make a game that they described as more intriguing than the usual sports. I don't know if intriguing would be the word I would use there, as f***ing insane. Ultimate Taser Ball, which is called UTB for short, pits two teams of 4 players against each other. Each team tries to get a medicine ball into the opposing team's goal whilst tackling and attacking the other team's carrier. A stun gun manufacturer released a statement saying, "Stun guns are designed to incapacitate people using electroshocks that disrupt muscle functions and were intended to be used for defence purposes, not for sports." Oh, shut up! Just because they found a better way to use your product.
Yeah, Ultimate Taser Ball. Personally, I've always preferred Penultimate Taser Ball. I just don't like the feeling of finality. It just slaps your own mortality in your face like a freshly executed haddock. But it skirts that fine line, John, between aggressive policing and sport, which is, of course, how most sports began. And besides, you think this is violent, John? Have you never watched rugby? A taser is nothing compared to a 19-stone Samoan flying headfirst at your ribcage as if he's just been fired out of a cannon.
The inventors of the game said, just because no one intended tasers for sports doesn't mean that they aren't good for them. And I think that's a very, very strong argument. The same is true of the harpoon. Only a few weeks ago, Andy, you, for instance, invented Olympic cycle jousting.
Yep.
Now, sports have to evolve.
Yeah, I think, taser wrestling in the Olympics, you could see that really taking off. Because, what is Greco-Roman wrestling? No one really knows what it is. It's just like rolling around in a leotard quoting Virgil, I think, isn't it? But chuck a taser in, everyone's watching.
In Ultimate Taser Ball, Andy, or UTB, players can get stunned between 35 to 40 times in a game. And apparently they can give out between 3 to 5 milliamps. Apparently it feels like a rubber band snap. It's shocking, but it will only make you twitch or drop the ball. And it works on the nervous system, so no one will get immune to it, so we won't have to raise the level in the future to get the same effect. You won't have to, no. But you might find that you want to anyway. How else are you going to take Ultimate Taser Ball to the next level? Ultimate Turbo Taser Ball, Lightning Bolt level.
The teams in the league are called LA Nightlights, the Philadelphia Kilowatts, the Toronto Terror, and the San Diego Spartans. But other impending franchises potentially include the Buffalo Ball Blasters, the Boston Incapacitators, the Sacramento Singers, and the Miami Because the origins of sport are often very interesting, John. It's great to see sport embracing technology in this way, and I think other sports could learn from UTB and use similar technology to raise their audience ratings. And, well, it looks like Peter's lining up the blue to the left middle here. This could clinch him the crucial 7th frame. Oh, what's Alan doing here? Oh, tremendous tactics by Alan. He knew Peter was in a good position, so he's tasered him in the nuts. Oh, it was perfectly timed there. Perfectly timed. As a super player. Terrific snooker. Taserball began, of course, after a gang of thieves stole a prize-winning pumpkin from a vegetable store, and police tried to fizz them with tasers as the robbers passed the pumpkin between them, and that's what gave these guys the idea. And it's very interesting seeing the origins of sport. Lacrosse, John, began in late 17th century France in Louis XIV's rat-infested kitchen. And the staff had to catch the rodents in a sieve or colander and then fling them to another kitchen hand by the window who would catch the flying rodent in his colander and hurl it out of the window into the moat. And they had to do this before the Queen, Maria Theresa, saw them because she really hated rats, and the word lacrosse in French, of course, literally means she is cross. Water polo began with a food fight on the Titanic, and apparently the last words of the captain of the Titanic were, "I don't care if it's sinking, Marjorie, this is fun, now catch my cantaloupe." Rugby, of course, largely a means of regulating homoerotic impulses in British public schools. And basketball, of course, the origins of basketball are very interesting. They were a means used by early European settlers in America for knocking parakeet eggs down from nests in trees. In fact, until 1917, professional basketball was played with a Carolina parakeet in the basket, and a basket would only be confirmed if the parakeet squawked. Sadly, North America's only native parakeet rapidly became extinct due to the invention of the slam dunk, and the practice was ceased. Oh, hang on. I've just contradicted my own earlier lie about the origins of basketball. Oh no, I'm confused. Oh no.
Caught in your own lies.
I don't know what's real anymore.